Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. And in today's video, this is a video that I admit that I never thought that I would have to do. And the reason why is because there are no laws or no way that someone could end up going to jail over a debt. You know, if you owe a debt, you know, we don't have debtors prison. Now, we know that in some of the states there are some ways that debt collectors can get someone arrested to come to court, but as soon as they come to court, they're released. Even though you wouldn't be sitting in jail unless it's the weekend, I don't want anyone to be arrested for any reason. I don't want there's like the story that I had in a video years ago in Minnesota where a young lady was eating lunch at her at a park, and there was a cop just, you know, running tags, running license plates, and saw that she had a warrant, and the warrant was over debt, and they arrested her and took her to court, and then she was released. But just think, you don't even want to go through that. I don't want you to go through that. So first, before I get to the part that I never thought would happen, so make sure you watch this video, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. This is very important information, and we need to get everyone, get this information to everyone possible who may have, I would say, collections that are at least $7,000 or more, potentially even $5,000. But I'm seeing this with a lot of higher end collections accounts. Is first, to stop you from ever being able to be arrested, is that if you answer the phone and communicate with a debt collector, even if you say that I can't pay you, or you say you dispute the debt, whatever it is, the key word is communications. When that young lady got arrested, the first thing that they said is that we held you in contempt because you never did answer any of the communications from the debt collector. Now, I'm not saying that that's happening in every state. It is starting to happen in more states. You could do your own research on that, because a lot of people don't believe me when I say that. All you have to do is say arrested because of debt, and you will see a list of people and something from the ACLU that showed that people were being arrested for debts as small as $150 and $200. I mean, this is happening in the United States today. So now, to get to what I thought would never happen, ever happen in the United States of America, is people that could legitimately get arrested because of their debt, and potentially, I don't know what the outcome would be, but let me just give you the scenario. Recently, I've started getting debt collection judgment requests where people have gotten judgments against them, and they were looking for our help on how they can manage, you know, like, hey, can you call them up and do a settlement, lump sum, payment arrangement, all of these different types of options. It depends on their financial situation. Obviously, people don't want to get a judgment. Obviously, people want to try not to have them garnishing their wages. But we are upfront and honest with people, and we tell them the scenario is this. If you have a judgment against you, they've already won, and you've passed a period of time to be able to reopen it. And even if you can reopen it, is if there's a possibility that you're still going to lose, like a high probability, and that happens with original creditors, is that you need to lean more towards doing a settlement. And some people just can't wrap that around their mind, but I'm telling them, hey, this is so you can be able to move forward. So now, but this is what has me a little bit concerned, or not a little bit concerned, has me very concerned. Because what is happening now, and we see with the privatization of different public services, you know, where they're trying to figure out ways to bring in more revenue. We've always known that police, you remember everybody would say they go out there to try to make their quota, and people would do that we would always say that, hey, the police are out because they're making their quota. Well, this is something that I saw happen in one state, and I'm starting to see this happen in other states. And it's very concerning. Okay, so normally if you have a judgment, the creditor or debt collector, or they're going to be the ones that's going to try to collect it. And as a matter of fact, a lot of times when people have judgments, they really, most of the time, can go uncollected because the original creditor, because they're not in the business of, doing all that stuff unless they get an attorney to garnish the wages. They usually, in the past, used to just get a judgment, and it would kind of just sit there. And they're hoping that if the person tried to buy something or, to go get a house, that eventually it'll pop up and they'd be like, hey, you got to take care of this judgment to be able to get this house. And people would end up doing it. And with debt collectors, they specialize in collecting debt. So they would go and, they would get garnishments and do things to garnish people's wages, or levy bank accounts if you don't live in a state that allows wage garnishment. But this is what is so concerning to me, because this points directly at people, and this situation or this scenario makes it very difficult for a person, number one, to be able to make the right decision, because it puts a lot of stress on them. So this is what I'm starting to see, is that rather than the debt collection company or the original creditor doing the collections, guess who they're having doing the collections for them? The sheriff's departments. So could you imagine that and this is not where they're like doing the first payment or they're serving notice. This is actual, you send your payments to the sheriff's department, and the sheriff gets that over to the original creditor or the debt collector. I want you to run that through your mind right now. If you owe a debt collector, and then they insert the sheriff's department to be the one who collects your money, and then if you fall back on those payments, and then the next thing you know, they're knocking on your door, because obviously for them to be inserted in there, this must be a revenue generator. Like, for every step that they, if an original creditor uses the debt collection company, it's the incentive for the debt collection company, they're going to get a piece of the original payment. And with the stresses that cities are under for pensions, for public safety, police force, sheriff's departments, all of that stuff, this is a new revenue generator. And what has me very concerned is that what will happen if, number one, a person does not make the payments at all, and the sheriff department is involved in this? And then number two, what if they're making payments and then they have some trouble and they're not able to make payments? Is the sheriff going to send a letter? Is the sheriff going to just, hey, let's just do a drive-by over to that house and see what's going on with the payment? They're actually now in the debt collection business. Is this where we're headed? To where you're going to have police departments in the collection, in the collection business? So this is very concerning, and I will keep you up to date, and I will start to compile a list of states that are starting to do this. I think that this puts an undue amount of stress on an individual. If you get a letter from a debt collector, it's already stressful. You get a letter from the sheriff's department saying that we're going to be the ones collecting the debt, and you send us the money, we'll get it over to them. That's going to put even more stress. And it's also going to make people think that the system is kind of stacked against them, because if it's one company in a debt, if it's you and a debt collection company in court, you have the public officials in the middle. But if you have yourself, the debt collector, and then the sheriff's department backing them up with collections, that's very concerning to me. So if any one of the you that are watching this video have had this happen, if you're making payments to a sheriff's department for a debt collector or an original creditor who got a judgment against you, please let me know about it, because what I want to do is I want to compile a list. Now, another thing that has a lot of activity on my channel is protection of people's money due to bank levies from collection agencies or original creditors. People are waking up, literally, waking up in the morning. You know how you check your bank account on your phone and their money is gone. And people who lived in states where they could not garnish wages, this was something that could potentially happen. So they were protected from having any of their paycheck taken away. But we've seen an uptick in debt collection companies and original creditors actually going into people's bank account and taking the money. And I've told you exactly how they pick and choose when to do it. They look at your credit reports. They look at how you're living your life. If you own a home, they know when you're making your mortgage payment. And do you think that they care about your mortgage payment over them getting their money that they want to have? There's a young lady that had $15,000 taken out of her account. $15,000. And imagine if that happened to you. Imagine if it happened to you and you had your last $100 in there. You don't want to not have your money in there. You want to be able to have an opportunity to at least have some type of back and forth to be able to resolve your situation, or to just let them know that you're struggling and that you have a true financial hardship. So forget all of those videos, forget all of those people who are telling you do not respond to a debt collector, do not respond to a court summons, don't worry, they can't do anything to you. If you get a judgment, oh, you can just get it removed and don't have to worry about it. These people are spending millions of dollars to buy debt, and they're spending millions of dollars to go after people, and this is not a game. This is not a game, and people need to take this serious. I wish, if it wasn't for privacy, I wish that I could show you, number one, some of the emails that we get. Number two, the actual documents that's showing how they're going after people. So you don't have to believe me. You don't have to, take my word on it. All you have to do is do your own research. Like, type in the keyword, Sheriff Department collecting debts for debt collectors. Public law enforcement collecting debt for debt collectors, or for collecting judgments. Type in on Google, woman gets arrested for owing a debt, and then look at the ACLU letter or the ACLU report warning that they had come out. And then you'll also see the articles from people who had gotten arrested. There was even a cop that got arrested in Houston for having old student loan debt. So this is a very serious situation. And so we do that. This is stuff that we do. Before I close out, we do this stuff. And last week was a very tough week with our company, because number one, so many people on a daily basis, like so many, I couldn't even make as many videos as I wanted to. So many people bombarded us asking for help, like seriously. And people have true hardship. People are going through medical issues. People are losing family members. People are losing jobs. People are losing income. All types of things are happening, and people are reaching out for solutions. And everybody's situation is going to be different, but I can tell you something that is similar with everyone, is that people don't have their mind wrapped around the true solution for their situation. Is that they're being misguided by what some of the other videos are telling them to do. Not to say that everyone is not telling them the right thing, but they are being misled in a direction that makes them think that they're not going to have to pay nothing all the time to get out of their situation. And then when they don't get to pay nothing, they get, upset. And when it's really, they need to understand what what is in front of them, the obstacle that's in front of them. So I'm gonna end the video here. Please like this video. Please share this video. There's somebody out there that needs to hear this video. I don't want anyone to have their bank account frozen or levied. I don't want anyone to just happen to be out with their family or anywhere to get arrested, even though they won't keep you in jail unless it's over the weekend. Until you can get in front of a judge, you could be arrested and kept in there over the weekend. And it's only just to attest to what you're going to do about the debt. So don't believe people who are telling you that this stuff can't happen. I'm seeing it happen, and I'm seeing, that other issue that's concerning me about law enforcement becoming the new collections department. And this is not where they're making the calls to, hey, how you going to pay this debt? No, when a judgment is done and a garnishment is ordered, they are the ones that are taking the payments and then distributing it to the debt collector or the original creditor. That's very concerning. All right, if you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, what makes us different, so you can see my 8-point validation process, my 2-phase settlement process. When you watch that video, that is exactly what we have to do to repair your credit. Some of the times you're going to need, depending on the validation, if they validate the debt, you're going to need to be willing to go into settlements. If you're not willing to look at that option to finish out your credit repair process, please choose another company, because this is just the way that we do it. It's not just about sending letters, and we will contact the furnishers. It's not just about trying to get stuff off of your credit reports. That's part of it. That's like, if you're only working with a company doing that, you're getting half the services for the money that you're paying. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website, 3scores.com. Grab your TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. If you have debt collectors coming after you, the easiest way, the best way is to stop them at the beginning. Don't disregard that first letter, because there's a lot of stuff that they don't expect you to know when responding to them with that first initial 30-day letter. If you don't dispute it, you're giving them permission to put that on your credit reports. Go to my website. The link is below here. You can grab my 3-pack of letters: debt validation, cease and desist collection activities letter, and statute of limitations letter. Use the one that is appropriate for your situation. Thank you for your time. Please post your questions and comments. Share this video and like this video, and hit the notification bell if you haven't done that already. Thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and founder of the Credit Repair Shop.